There we are. So we're on session 11 of UVG, and yeah, go for it. We were just recapping.
Right, but
Yeah, we got some goo. We split the goo in two. We sold for a really good price here, but then they're like, "You need to get out of here before everybody finds out y'all got goo and wants a piece of you and maybe a caravan," which is fine because we're gonna leave anyway to deliver the other
yeah,
goo.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Uh,
and because you have a beetle horse, I keep doing the thing where I move the caravan on
yeah,
while you do whatever dangerous thing you're going to do.
like shoot a bunch of encased foams.
Exactly. Yes, that seemed potentially risky.
Hmm. Oh, and then uh, Adoron did. Uh, Modan, I don't think is aware that Adoron did this on purpose, but when he was getting the goo, he actually let the goo get onto his arms a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, and then of course Modan was like, "Oh God, it's getting him!"
Because
and
he was
like
trying to see
whacked
what
him
would
away
happen.
from the lake. And
Didn't you like drop your arms or something when that
oh
happened?
yeah,
Yeah, so he melted off the ends of his arms, and then after Modan rescued him, we knocked the silver plating off
Mm.
one of the arms, and then I kept the other arm with silver plating. So I have an arm which is conceivably going to grow into a bone, but we have it in safekeeping. It's going to be my bone pad, right?
What could possibly go
So
wrong?
I'm trying to figure out what this
nothing
is
at
all
all.
about, and you can't do that without research objects.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, so this is the first month of Snowbringer as you roll into the Last Serai. +6, you got it at the last minute.
Maybe we hole up at the Last Serai for the next month, just because travel is bad this
That
time
was
of
gonna be
year.
bad for the next 4 months.
It's real
Yeah. Winter's rough. Yeah, so well, let's see if I have anything in my notes that we missed. Um uh oh yeah, Adoran did a little Adoran wanted to set up a little get stuff for like a pavilion that you wanted to set up. You're probably gonna do that here.
Yes, and also ran. Another thing I realized during the break was my toads are starting to get lethargic because it's cold.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to find a place to bury them in the dirt for the season.
They can probably do that themselves. They'll hop off and bury themselves in
Okay,
the mud.
I
um
just want to make sure they're safe since
yeah,
I have.
you sent for 5 sacks of beans to be delivered in to the Porcelain Citadel. So you'll have that set up. Oh, the other thing that was at the Citadel, Clayfire 100 Company returned to town from the other stuff. It's a 100 body porcelain prince militia, basically, that has been scouring the land surrounding the Citadel to make sure that things are okay before they hole up for the winter.
Got it. Making sure the area is foam free.
Yep.
Yeah. So another thing was, though there are fire, Clayfire did claim that there were not actually any increased Vohm numbers
Yes.
out on the trails. So it may be that it may be that trade will pick up after the winter again because they feel like the Vohms are not actually out there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, they reported that there was not really any increased bone activity despite the rumors. So that was weird.
Okay. So we did take the regular road back, or
Yes. Yeah, the road between the Citadel and the Sarai.
Could that be maybe because they don't detect Vom as Vom anymore? Maybe.
Um, I think it was because you started a rumor that was not entirely true.
Oh,
And
that's
people
better.
got
That's the better option.
out of control there. Yeah, and you sold the goop to 231 frozen satrap, red satrap for 1,500, and left town with the rest of it. Hit a little bit of bad weather, got your mutations, your big lips, your electrosense, some bone spurs.
Oh, that's right. I can sense electricity now. Like
yeah.
I
You
could
made
always
it sound-
tell like a lightning bolt's about to hit over there. Pow!
Electrical power. And And yeah, Adoron got attacked by a static ghost, and it was like, "Hey, bro, what's up?" And the ghost was like, "Give me your soul," and you're like, "No, thank you."
I'm gonna pass. Hard pass.
Reminds me that there's a thing going around social media which said something along the lines of, "Fairies get a bad rap. We're not trying to steal human souls. We buy them for fair market value."
Mm-hmm.
Now that the fact that the going rate of a human soul is one enchanted pastry is more of a you problem.
There it
Well,
is.
I was willing to enter negotiations with the radiation ghosts,
Yeah.
but they didn't seem to have much to offer in trade.
No,
Got it.
there was not a lot of trade happening there.
Oh, and I remember, I think something we were going to take care of at the beginning of this session was like I believe we had some down. I think at some point I had a chance to spend a week getting another notch on my friend's trait.
You will.
Not yet. Yeah,
Or I will.
coming in this week. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
You'll have plenty of time to do that. I believe. Yeah, cool. So that's where we are. Let me pop that open. Great. Yes, that's where we are. We have just entered the little like static barrier of the Last Serai. There's that sort of the sort of bulbous buildings built out of the accreted sort of sand, concrete, and dry coral. There's these big emerald towers coming out of it. There's a few different places around. There's the harmonium, which is like a big kind of like ziggurat with a big sphere on top of it. That's where all the porcelain princes hang out most of the time. The last trading house is the remote outpost of the Rainbow Lands, is as far west as they go. And there's the final embassy, which is as far east as the Satraps go. And then not too far away is the Ignored Tower, which is, not great. People just
there's a reason people ignore it. If you pay too much attention to it, it does not like to be noticed. That's why people ignore it.
It does not like to be perceived.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's just that it's not real cool about it, is all.
That's why Adoron's trying to study it.
Cool. So let's see, caravan wise, we've got our 4 carts. One cart is full of supplies, one cart has some supplies and 5 sacks of odd fruit. We've got a little sack of bio seed matter still. Donkeys are pulling the carts, and one sack still has some of Yillis' stuff. I think maybe Yillis and the others stayed back at the Porcelain Citadel, just for sense sake. So I'm gonna move him to the PC. PC is also a Porcelain Citadel. Funny. And I'll take care of I'll rearrange the cargo stuff to keep track of that when we do. I'll make sure he doesn't lose a sack of stuff. Cool. So here you are, the Last Serai. There's a lot of different things to do. There's trading to do. There's places to explore. There's random encounters to have. You've got time, and inside the static barrier, it's still winter. It's still cold. It's not like bitter as it is just outside the barrier. But yeah, there's folks around doing stuff. It's a medium-sized city type place, so
fantastic
abound.
So I think the first thing that Phaedrid would like to do is find that Spectrum Satrap who is so interested in the fruit.
Yeah,
and maybe sell him more fruit because we got 5 sacks of it.
Oh yeah, that's right. So let's see. That was let's see, which one was it? That was not 123 Difference. Was the guy with a goop. I think that
117 catalog.
117 catalog. There he is. 117 catalog fruit. Yeah, over the course of we'll do like the first week of stuff, and then we'll figure out what to do next. I think he is not too difficult to find to track down. I think one of the things that you do notice, um, as you're kind of talking around and asking for him is when you like mention like, oh yeah, he's the guy who bought a bunch of fruit. I think ever like princes, rainbow landers, and the few satraps alike are just like kind of like roll their eyes, and say like, do you want to buy some fruit? But you're able to track him down before too long, and it's only been it's been a month or so, maybe, right? And
Yep.
so I think he does remember you. He's like, oh yeah, I remember you. You sold me some of that fruit for a lot of money. You got a really good deal on that. Um, would you like to buy some of it back?
I was hoping you wanted more.
You want to? This place is
You were you
flooded with
you were
the word got around, and
uh
we've had caravans bigger than yours, completely full of odd fruit, and we are drowning in the stuff. Um,
uh
because people thought it was the people here thought it was valuable, and the people who actually travel on that road, eventually, after fleecing us, told us that there was no danger on that road. The rumors had been exaggerated, which drove up the price. I don't know who did that, if it was intentional, but if anyone finds out, it's not going to be a great day for them. So I can give you a lot of fruit for very cheap right now, but I don't think you're going to find anyone to buy it.
Alrighty then. Let me mark that on our market research. Let me mark that on our market research tab.
Yeah, on fruit is worthless for the moment right now at the Serai.
And that is
And I think unless you go out of your way to be like, yeah, that was us, I don't think it's going to be a problem.
no.
Hadrian, this is much more complicated than it seems.
Yes, it can be. It can be.
What did Modan want to get up to here?
This is a good chance now to get my second rank of friends.
Friends, yeah.
Use my pleasant demeanor to making friends.
Yeah, let's make some friends. Um, yeah, so I was looking at the guidebook and stuff. And I think, yeah, where did I find it? Accomplish, leveling and growth, experience, investing experience, growing through play. Great. Um, yeah, so you've got your friends trait. They suggest seeking out a mentor to get each one of those levels. And kind of like making it like a fun little mini quest. So you have one rank right now, right?
I have one rank, yes.
Cool. Tell me more about what you would like to do to do that.
I think I would use my pleasant demeanor to just like talk to people and hang out and tell them stories, swap stories of our travels.
Stories. What part of the Sarai do you want to do that, like in the main city or in one of the outbuildings kind of?
I may be able to help you with that, Modan. I am about to go into the business of conversation. Phaedrid, I have decided that I am going to contribute to the caravan by setting up a pavilion where people can come and have conversation, and they can exchange conversation and whatever else they wish to exchange.
An exchange of ideas. That sounds an exchange of ideas. That sounds like that could be interesting.
It was my thought that
Uh,
perhaps it would draw people to the caravan to look at our wares also.
Fair enough. Alas, we don't really have many wares at this point. All we
Useful
bought was fruit. All we bought was fruit, and apparently the bottom has dropped out of the market around here.
Hey, win some, you lose some.
You do.
Is the fruit going to last? Is there a way to freeze it for winter? What are the options with the fruit?
I don't think it's going to go bad. I think there's no. Yeah, I don't think we need to keep track of fruit going rotten here. It's strange radiated fruit anyway, so it's who knows how it works.
Chernykov cherries or something like that.
Yeah, and velvet plums, I think it was.
Yep.
Great. Yeah. So, Modon, did you want to do it in the which region of the Serai did you want to kind of hang out in and chat people up with?
I don't know. It seems like maybe is there a specific place where people a bar, a place where people socialize?
Yeah, it's just a matter of what flavor of person you're most interested in.
Oh.
Like Prince, Satrap, or Rainbow Lander.
If I remember, if I can't remember my own,
or just like in general, or like
Lander,
just
right?
general, like what you feel like.
I believe the dung merchants are over in that direction.
Dung merchants. Are we looking to have some dung merchants in the caravan? Is that a?
They are very useful. I have observed that they follow all the caravans as they leave the city looking for product.
Interesting. Well, let's try. I think I'm a Rainbow Lander, so it seems like I don't know why I think that. So you seem to remember that from some.
Yeah, I think you were.
Did
we say? Yeah, no, you weren't the Blue Lander. You were like from the outskirts of the.
Or is there?
I found where you were from on a map, but I don't remember where it was now.
I don't either. It's so long ago.
It was like Indigo River, Lavender Cliffs area, kind of. I think, kind of like to the north of Violet City. That's where your farm is.
Sounds familiar.
I
mean, cool. We definitely want some like-minded.
Yeah,
like-minded friends, easygoing, adventurous.
Stick with some rainbow guys.
Trustworthy.
Yeah, so hang out at the last trading house, kind of.
Sure.
Let me see.
Oh, sounds great.
Great. Cool. So I think because you're already like kind of on your way to friendliness, and this isn't your first time here. You're able to kind of schmooze your way into the kind of not the seat of power exactly, but there's not a ton of Rainbow Landers here. Like there's an outpost kind of, right? This is the far western outpost of the Rainbow Landers. And so it's not too hard to cozy up to the chief of the Rainbow Mission here, Pookie, Pooki. Pookie is a pure white fluffy cat with golden eyes.
Oh, nice! I like Pookie.
Held by a human from the city, probably a half orc. Actually, it looks like, and I think over the course of the week, Pookie kind of doesn't make it a secret that they are looking forward to returning to the Citadel, actually, the Porcelain Citadel. But actually, Pookie's kind of the Citadel clockwork. Interesting. It says Citadel, but I don't think that means Citadel. I think Pookie is looking forward to being back in the Violet City, and is kind of like in charge of like whatever the big trade missions are here. Kind of like an ambassador to the caravans between here and the Rainbow Lands, and I think kind of like wants like in conversation. Lets it slip, kind of like outright says, they're kind of like looking for like one last big feather to put in their hat before they kind of go back and retire. Um, an interesting thing you notice about their handler, their name is Mook, the half orc. Um, most of the you've been in the Violet City a little bit, and you kind of know the demeanor of the cat handlers are kind of very subservient, very glassy eyed. They're the ones who speak, even though the cats are the ones controlling them. Mook doesn't seem like that. Mook seems on it, kind of aware. He's able to speak for Pookie just as well as anyone else, but seems to kind of like be on his shit a little bit. Is there anything you would offer Pookie in light of like they want to retire with kind of like one last big deal under their belt? A little kitty belt.
I kind of feel, I don't know if this really qualifies, but I kind of feel like talking up my impending bean empire, because I mean, I've been saving money to set up that milk run, and it's like, if he wanted to get in on the ground floor of that,
Beans.
yeah, oh, there's all kinds of beans. That's what's great about beans. There's all different varieties. There's like beans that taste chocolatey. There's beans that are very savory. There's beans that have some kick to them. And so it's just endless. And I've had good luck selling, just batches here and there. But I'm looking to really set up a network, and we would be like the bean guys. So it really, like, you could be right here on the ground floor of something that I think is going to be very huge. And then, like, because I know you're looking to sort of get out of the traveling game. And so, I mean, I could definitely use someone managing the bean empire. And then that would be some nice passive income we could split.
Cool. Awesome. I think over the course of the week, this is your pitch and your friendliness work. So let's go ahead and make a thought roll. You're just looking for an 11.
A thought, which is 2. So that's a
D20 plus
2.
Yeah.
Oh, let me change my name. I'm not Dallas Dice Roller.
Oh, and everyone should be up 2 hero dice up to your level.
Thank you. So since my level's 3 and I already had 2,
Yep,
that would take
go
me up to
up
3.
to 3. Yep.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, here we go. Schmoozing with Pookie. 22.
Hey. Yeah. All right.
Couldn't get any better than that.
I think that is going to do you real good. Yeah. So here's the deal. Pookie is into it. That's going to get you 2 successes and get you skilled. And Pookie is sold. It feels like kind of like the upshot is, this is a place where the Rainbow Lands kind of like brings their like exotic, Eastern goods to sell to the Western lands. And like, I think your pitch for the beans like is so kind of like earnest and grounded, even though there's like, oh, there's chocolate beans and there's vanilla beans and there's whatever, gummy beans. It's still like, oh, like this is a good solid staple, like getting, because we've had, I don't know if you know about the fruit situation, recently got soaked on. Not to denigrate our hosts or anything, but it's hard to trust someone that's not as single-minded as the rest of us, if you know what I mean. And I don't, even though the Violet City is a couple weeks away, it's and the Citadel is right there. It's just hard to rely on people in masks for fundamentals. So I think this is a great idea. What kind of investment are you looking for?
Let me just check something real quick. And you said so that gets me my skilled rank and friends.
That gets you your friendly skill. Yep.
Oh, did I just? Wait, is that me? Yes, that is me. I'll make sure I'm in the right character here. I was just trying to find. Okay, I've got 30. It's like, well, basically, we can have it completely set up for 10,000, and then it's a done deal. I mean, it's a working. We got a working Bean network at that point.
And you're willing to stake yourself on this?
Meaning what exactly? Just so we're clear.
Just it doesn't seem like you have that much collateral.
Oh no, that is true. That's why I haven't set up the network yet.
But personally, you seem like a trustworthy and you seem to be of value yourself.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I would like to think so.
Well, in that case, I'm happy to call this deal sealed.
This is going to be amazing. I have a good feeling.
I have a network of people to take care of this. You give Pookie through Mook the particulars. Probably write some letters of whatever, so just random people aren't showing up at your farm to get me.
Right. Let them know what's going on.
Let me write this down from
Pookie, our Bean administrator now.
Yeah.
Bean distributor.
I think he's like, if this pans out, I think I can retire on this. So we will split the proceeds 50-50. And once spring comes, I'll send everyone off and we can get this business started. In fact, I will go personally to deliver whatnot to Last Serai.
I've added Pookie to the NPC list.
Fantastic. Pookie and Mook. And Modan as collateral. I'm sure we'll be fine.
Just as a matter of detail, and this, I have no preference either way. I just want to know, from your point of view, would you want your name also associated with the endeavor, or would you rather sort of be behind the scenes administrator, and it's the fig bean empire that you?
I am high profile enough here, and if this deal goes through, I should have enough to retire in the Violet City. So it makes no difference to me. If you feel that it's advantageous to have a prestigious person like me fronting your business in the Rainbow Lands, feel free to use my name, but it's absolutely not required. I'll leave that up to your marketing people.
Oh, I'm perfectly fine sharing the name. I just didn't know if you had a preference of being more secretive or not.
None at all.
It's totally your preference. The Pookie and Fig Empire, or Fig and Pookie alphabetical, probably.
Do you? I know that you are you're just a human, right?
I am indeed, I believe.
Do you partake of catnip at all?
I have not until I have not. Is that something humans can partake of?
I mean, they have.
Is it something? I mean, I certainly wouldn't mind maybe sampling and seeing what it's like.
Mook brings over a big tray with piles of catnip on it. Like, have at it.
Do you eat it? Do you sniff it? Either or?
Try a few different ways and see what you like the best. The first one is free. Can I get you to make an easy? It's not body. What is it? It's endurance check
Sure.
Easy. We're
Plus
looking
one.
for a 7.
Oh boy. +1. Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen after my 20.
Cool.
It's a 4.
Let's give you a burden. You are addicted to catnip.
Yeah, I saw that coming. And how do burdens work?
Burdens are a -1 on any roll.
Oh, that sucks.
They can be treated.
Yeah, we'll have to do that.
I think so with your addiction, as long as you are kept in catnip, I think the burden will not be affected,
Right.
not be there. It is 50 cash a dose. We'll see how often that needs to happen. Speaking of cash, you're going to be here for a while, until what time you decide to leave. What in what manner are you going to set yourself up here in the Last Serai? For cash, I think it is. Where is it?
What are the accommodations?
Yeah, 4 cash
options?
a week is like surf quarters. 100 cash a week is respectable rooms with like viddy crystals and whatnot. And you can probably get something in between if you like.
I was going to say if we're going to be here for like months.
Yeah, I would count on 4 months, so 16 weeks.
Wow.
Okay,
you can venture out at any time though.
I was used to the luxurious accommodations, but I ain't got that kind of money. That's usually for a week at a time.
And you'll also be paying the
can't be
wages for
we're gonna have to pay. Yeah, we're gonna have to pay wages for that. Let me do some quick calculations here.
And you don't have to decide now. We can go as we go.
I was going to say, I think Phaedra would be interested in decent accommodations, but not luxurious.
I think decent would be like 50. It's like nothing fancy, like just enough to live, not a slum.
That's
okay.
A week, you said?
Yeah, 50 a week. And you can stay in like basically the stables for 4. There will be no bad effects from that. It's just cheaper and less prestigious. You might make some friends. Who knows?
Yeah, for the long haul, I better take the cheap ones. Only got 350 cash on me.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got caravan money, and I was thinking that I was thinking it might be good to like pay ourselves out of that.
Oh, and you're about to get some more too once you deliver your goo.
Oh yeah, we got to deliver the silver goo to.
Yeah, that's true.
In the meantime, Adoron, what do you want to do for your first week here?
So why don't we just say that why don't the 3 of us each take 1,000? That way we've got plenty of spending money for the. I'll reduce our cash by 3,000 in the caravan, and then everybody take 1,000.
Cool. You're muted.
Blah 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 blah. So for my first week, I was going to follow Phaedra as he went through different negotiations, so I could work on my merchanting.
Yeah.
And then I didn't know if I could also buy my gear to set up my pavilion at the same time, or if that's a separate.
Yeah, buying is if you just want to pay list price, that's no time at all.
So yes, so I'm studying merchant under Phaedra again.
So I don't know if you would learn anything from the first that first sad piece there.
Actually, I learned quite a bit.
that is true,
because I had a very
now you've learned how
concept of buy.
You win some, you lose some.
Sell.
And sometimes the market changes without you realizing it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Where would you like to kind of the two of you, I guess, if you're following around Phaedrid, like do you which area do you want to kind of focus on?
Well, if we're going to set up, I mean, if we are going to set up like a trading booth, and that's actually something I was hoping to do, is to like have a little bit of income of like seeing if I could like buy like without actually like traveling around, see if I
Yeah.
could like find things that are find things here within the Serai that I could buy low and sell high to make a little extra coin. So we're
Hmm.
going to be here for 4 months, and you know more money is better.
Um,
But yeah, so like where would like is there like a mark is basically if there's an existing marketplace that we could set up?
yeah. So there's kind of like the main smaller than a city, but the main area, like a bunch of old buildings that make up the majority of the Sarai. And then there's the specific building of the harmonium of the Citadel of the Porcelain Princes. There's the quarters for the Rainbow Lanterns and Satraps as well. But like the main section is just like a collection of these bubble buildings, kind of. Um, yeah. Um, I think there's this is it's not a marketplace, but trading does happen. Um, and I think kind of as I think maybe you hadn't been pinned as someone who, because there a bunch of people kind of milked some folks for money for the fruit, but I think people have kind of like cooled a little bit. And when you want to set up, they're like, oh yeah, try over here, and someone's like, oh, this is kind of like where I'm doing stuff, we can talk, but go over there. And eventually they sort of kind of point you to a place that looks like it is abandoned. It's one of these. It's a smaller one of these dome buildings that is kind of disused. There's a the door is like a metal like a corrugated sheet kind of that it needs to be shoved aside. It's relatively small, um, and full of dust, debris, and when you kind of like start,
Say we'll start sorting through it, try to clean up the
yeah.
place to set up a set this up as our little like trading area, a little shop.
There's actually like some because this place is kind of like dug into the sands as well. And kind of like as you go back, you find piles of like ancient bones and skulls that seem uh, not human, and human, including all the different variety of humans that we have here.
And I try to figure out like who or what these are. Have I heard like I mean, this almost seems like the sort of things that a wizard might know about.
Yeah, maybe. Give me a thought roll.
Can I add
It's also
wizard to that? Would my
Um,
wizard skill come into play here?
I think just thought for this one.
Just thought for this one.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we're just looking.
Where are we? Okay. Let's roll it. Yeah, I got a that. Yeah, that's a 4.
Yeah, they're old bones. Probably like they seem like they might have been here before this place was like built up, even, which kind of makes you feel like maybe this wasn't built, maybe it was discovered and kind of built into. Um, yeah.
I will bury them and like put the sand back and like there's no bones here. No, what are you talking
Yeah.
about?
And
hold on
I
a
think
second.
as you're doing that, like you get the impression that you're maybe not the first person that's done that.
I, Adoron, actually, I want to make a protocol roll because I am aware of different cultures and different practices. And
Hmm.
so I want to know if there are any, like any indications that this is a burial site, either.
It doesn't seem. I don't think you even need to roll for that. It doesn't seem like a barrel site. It seems like almost like a trash heap. Like people like had what when they moved into this place, they were like, we don't want this stuff here. We're just gonna throw it in this little hole. It doesn't seem like a place of honor at all.
Got it.
Adoron is going to start unburying as you're reburying, and Adoron is going to find choice pieces, and they're not sure what they're going to do with them yet, but they are stacking them away so that they can be hidden because they don't want to affect trade. But Adoron Adoron is going to do research on these.
Cool.
I think what Phaedra would like to do is maybe invest a little bit of money into just kind of fixing this place up to make it look appealing.
Sure. Do you want to kind of like work with Adoron, like kind of incorporate your like
absolutely
little sales kiosk / salon?
We're going to turn this into a little sales kiosk. I'm thinking if it's got a dirt floor, I'm going to try to get materials, whether that's sheet metal or sheet metal or woods or something. Everything's got a dirt floor here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what Adoron wants to do is they still want to buy the pavilion, and they're going to stick the pavilion out front.
Yeah.
To create a visual attraction to the area. And so there will be the conversational space, and then, oh, look, there are goods over here in this nice little building too, to create sort of more of like a shopping area, not just one building stuck off by itself.
Love it.
Cool.
Yeah, but he'll get rid of that corrugated door, that corrugated piece of metal, and install a real door. Maybe get some glass panes to put in the windows.
Ooh.
Maybe it's just like get a big rug to put on the floor.
Actually, can we get somebody to make us a sign and incorporate a couple of the bat lion claws that I have and a couple of what were they? Glass thistle glass. What was that?
Sure.
And we can call it the claw thistle.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Claw and thistle. The claw and thistle.
Or
I like
something
it.
like that. I mean, that's just if we have some sort of interesting visuals to draw people in.
Nice.
Love it. I was just going to suggest. Well, this is the winter home of Triumph Ventures, but
yeah. Could be a permanent outpost. Who knows? So
I don't want to invest tons of money, but I'd like to invest. I mean, I'm okay with I think we should invest a little bit of money into making this place like someplace where we want to be for 4 months.
Yeah. Let me get a charisma roll. From Phaedra's got better charisma, so yeah. And this is more like a luck roll than anything.
Got it. Does advertising engineer come into play here?
No, this is just like a luck roll.
Oh, okay, got it.
This is charisma for the gods.
Charisma for the gods. 11.
11. Great. I think so. I'll let you choose. I think it can either cost like what's the price we decided on for the pavilion? Do you remember? It was like
the pavilion was hold on just a moment. I wrote it down. Oops, I wrote it down right here. The pavilion was, and this was over at the other place you said it was a little more expensive. It was $250.
Cool. Let's say you can take like 2 or 3 weeks and do the whole thing for 500, or you can pay 1,000 to get it done like immediately.
I'm thinking.
And you got a while here, so there's no.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of. I'm okay with taking time here. So, yeah, let's do the 500.
Cool. And if you want to throw in an extra 100, this can be your caravan quarters, and you won't have to pay for lodging while you're here.
That works.
That's excellent.
Just paid 600.
Yeah, you're not going to be. It's going to be cozy, and you're going to be sleeping with piles of bones, but it's free. after
We have literally swept it under the rug.
that. Cool. Yeah, and we'll set up the Triumph Ventures Outpost.
Awesome. So one other thing I would like to do is basically try to like find some inexpensive goods that we could attempt to sell for profit here.
Cool. And I
So I don't know if
think
I don't know if that's going to count as market research or how
market
do we want to
research
do
is
that?
just for elsewheres. I think this is going to be haggling,
Okay.
which is still good for you, I think. Let's just do a roll for the first month. So let me get a roll. It's gonna be charisma plus your advertising engineer.
Okay, I am skilled at that. So it's going to be +5 on the roll. So roll it.
Yep.
Ooh, I rolled a 19
Fantastic.
on the dice. +5 is 24.
Nice. That's a market roll. Great. Um, so, um,
What did I find that's cheap that I can actually afford to buy some of?
so here's the deal. That is a very good roll. You can, I think you can, for the first month here. How much are you willing to invest in trade goods?
I was thinking about 1,000.
Cool.
I don't want to empty our coffers entirely because on a potentially I want to gamble everything because
Mhm.
this could not go well.
You can make a 300 times profit on this, but um, your reputation will suffer, and this may not be a long-term place for you to stay.
Right.
Or you could bring your roll down and make it a longer term.
I'd like to go. I'd like to go. Yeah, I don't want to be because I've already built. I've already like built people out of money. I don't want to. Yeah, I would like to parlay that role into like if possible, I'd like to parlay that role instead of like making a whole lot of like selling a whole lot of stuff for way more than it's worth. I'd like to
Mhm.
sell like like more. I'd like to I'd like to sell
Some
like
for
some
some.
I'd like to sell some quality goods at a nice profit, but
Yeah.
not an insane profit.
So is there a way to mechanize selling goods at a more reasonable price, but using the good roll to build up credibility, like a credibility attribute or something?
Or maybe this I was able to like find some real. I was able to
Mhm.
find someone who was selling them real cheap,
Mhm.
and then I
Um,
sell them.
so let's do this. I will take one hero die, and instead of making you roll to lower it, we'll just take it lower. And if you want to voluntarily lower it, we can keep that roll for the entire time you're here.
Okay,
That work?
that works. I'll just burn a hero die.
Cool. And so that will be if you're putting in 1,000, the first month you're going to make 500 profit.
500 profit.
Yeah,
Nice,
straight up.
nice.
Cool. And
So
you've got yourself.
I spend 1,000 and I get 1,500 is what you're saying.
Correct. Yep. Yeah. And yeah, while all that's going on, Adoron, let me get a thought roll from you for your training. I think that all counts.
Okay. Um, so that's a 12.
That is a 12. And I believe that will get you.
And I'm willing to put in a hero dice if I have
Yep,
to.
that will get you one success.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I
so I
am
think this
now.
this whole process of setting up a shop and
Yeah.
watching Phaedrid wheel and deal the whole time definitely is instructional.
Yes.
Um, cool, and I think that's going to take up like your two guys' whole month for that. Um, was there anything else Modan wanted to do in the coming weeks after kind of chilling with Pookie?
Only other I think is, I know that before I did this whole friends thing, I was that Phaedrus has really, had intrigued. Like I'd like to be able to do cool things like shoot missiles out of my fingers. That's fun. Or something. I don't know. I don't know exactly how it would work, like how you look into magic.
Yeah, I mean, so you can it's the same as learning any other skill. You find someone to teach you, and you can train in it. I mean, the skill would be wizard, right?
No, the basic skill wizard is how
Mhm.
is what that is.
Phaedra is probably busy right now.
Yeah.
But if you want to try to find a wizard tutor, we can try to find you one.
Yeah, and then my other question is about my newfound friends trait.
Hmm.
Like it says it allows you to have pet/friends without taking up slots.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
I'm like, how does skilled, expert, etc. come into play there?
So if you had, that has that specific mechanical power for that. Let me look it up just to make sure I'm not talking shit, which I might actually be. So it will have that particular power. I think if if being a friend, yeah. Oh
Like,
no,
this
yeah.
makes
I
it
guess
sound
I
like
guess
I
that
just
is
have
the
companions now, but I'm like, well, how would I ever be rolling my
yeah.
friends
I
skill?
think if you can convince me that that is going to add to your role,
Mm.
that would be that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So maybe if I could find some way, it's like, hey, these friends help out in this way or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and like Beetle Horse should be take up a slot in your items, I think, but it doesn't
I
have.
thought
Yeah.
I
I
couldn't.
thought that was a pet.
I was gonna say I thought that was a special thing because it came with my traveler thing that it didn't.
No, yeah, just like any other equipment, friends and animals like that do take up slots.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to see if I can find that again because I thought I remembered that one being special, and I don't remember.
But yeah, but now you got friends, so you're all good.
But yeah, yeah, I guess I'll try to find. I'll ask around see if I can find any wizards.
Mm.
Around.
I mean, you're probably not gonna have luck with the satraps. Well, I don't know. I'm sure there are satrap wizards. That's up to you, I guess. Kind of like, where would you like to ask around for them?
I feel like it'd be the same wherever I was doing all my schmoozing with Pookie and all that. It just seems like those are probably the people I've made inroads in with, and
Rainbow Landers?
yeah, seems like where I've been hanging out and schmoozing.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Interesting. Um, yeah, so let me get I'm gonna need a roll for this one actually. Let me get a charisma roll from you. Just need 11.
Charisma. See, it's +3. Ooh, that's 5.
Mhm.
Womp womp.
So the Rainbow Landers here are mostly traders, right? They're mostly like caravanners. They're mostly hold up for the winter. And I think the advice they give you, they're like, you've been here for a while, right? So you've probably heard the voices every once in a while.
I don't think I have I?
Were you here when everyone heard the voices? I don't
I
remember.
don't think so.
There's
This is not sounding familiar to me.
There's one point when you were heading out of the Serai to the crater, there was kind of like a burst of mental static, and everyone started hearing voices a little bit.
No, not sounding familiar.
Yeah, I think I don't. Yeah, I think that was when Agatha was with the group.
Oh yeah. Cool. So that's a thing that happens sometimes. It's, I mean, if that's not wizard shit, I don't know what is. uh, folks in here, there are shelters we go to. It makes your head pound. It'll, I mean, I don't want to say it's going to suck your soul out or anything, but it does. People who can't find shelter when that happens aren't the same afterwards. And some of them, I mean, I've seen that wizard guy you hang out with, right? He's not all together, is he?
I mean, he seems pretty together to me.
I mean, for real, like I don't know. People talk. Anyway, there's no rainbow landers around here that are going to teach anything, but I mean, the voices do come from that tower. I would not. Don't go there. We ignore it for a reason. Like that place will just grind your soul away. I mean, but if you want, like, if you want the power to tear reality apart and put it back together, I can't think of any place weirder than that.
Maybe that's more of a long-term goal. Something I just realized I should probably take care of while I'm here is, man, I need to shake this. I need to shake this craven I got for catnip.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you got 50 cash, I can take care of that for you.
No, I mean, I'd rather. I don't. Nah, I don't. I need to not. I don't want it anymore. I need to get off the junk, man.
I mean,
I like it a little too much. It's dangerous. I don't want to do it.
Do you know about a niece?
I don't know what that is. What are you talking about?
No, who?
Oh, who? Who's
Yeah.
that?
I mean, not a wizard, but biomancer. It's not going to be throwing fireballs around or making people talk like sheep, but if you need a body rebuild, they can take care of it. It's not cheap, but
I mean, I can't just like sweat it out in a cave for a week or something.
I mean, you can do what you like. There's a reason they give it to you for free, right?
Yeah, well, so I'm like,
and mechanically, like
again.
you can sweat it out. That's just going to be your -1. You're going to have a -1 to all your rolls while you're addicted until you get it taken care of.
That's what I mean. I have to take care of it.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, I can probably make some introductions. It might take a while. They the masks that kind of crack down on them. Kind of like muscling into their territory, if you know what I mean.
That's the only way to get rid of a catnip addiction.
Say that again?
That's the only way to get rid of the craving for the catnip.
Yeah. I mean, unless you want to go ask the masks. I wouldn't recommend it, though.
Who are the masks? Out of character?
The princes, the porcelain princes, because they've all got their masks. Cool, but I'll try and put in a good word for you.
That'd be great.
Cool, and we'll call it the first month. Let's go ahead and take a little 5-minute break, and we'll come back and see what happens next.
All right.
I did not have you roll for it at the beginning of the month, but I'm going to have you roll for it for the next month here. Who would like to make a misfortune roll?
I mean, no one would like to.
Yeah, I can do it.
Cool. This is now Snowbringer, month 11. Travel is, Dead Winter, month 12. Weather is futile and glacial. Travel is. So
holding up here is a good idea.
Yeah, holding up here is a really good idea.
Hi, I got a 2.
Ooh, a 2.
Oh boy.
I might be rolling a hero die here. What would happen if I were to keep this, if I may be so bold as to ask?
So let me see. Misfortune. This is going to be an affliction for everyone. It'll be minus 1d4 ability points if once we determine the nature of it. I think so. With the month passing, you're gonna if anyone is down hit points or ability points, you can just heal them because you're hanging out in the city and just chilling. Um, it will be a temporary thing. It'll be a painful annoyance, but you'll get those ability points back, at the end of the month, basically.
I think I'm going to spend a hero die and avoid that.
Cool. Go ahead.
I rolled a 5 on that, which changes my 2 to a 7.
Bring us to a 7. Great.
Which is worse.
It's interesting. So I think one night as you're sleeping in the Triumph Ventures Outpost, you are awoken by a sharp pain in your foot. You yank off your boot and pull it off, and a tiny poison golem falls out and starts skittering away. It has stung you.
Ow!
What would you like to do?
I want to try to catch the poison golem to figure out. So hopefully, having that will help us figure out what the antidote is.
Yeah. Go ahead, roll me like a simple agility roll.
Simple agility roll. Okay. Not my best stat. Let's see what we get.
Just give me a sec.
That's a 12.
Cool. Yeah. You're able to like put a face over it or something and grab it. It's a little let me see. What is it? Yeah, it's a little you would think it was an animal, but it is.
And by the way, if this was poison, I do have the resilient trait. So
yeah. Oh yeah, in that case, this is a tiny, it's like getting stung by a scorpion, basically.
Okay.
Again, irritating. It's not going to happen.
I have the resilient trait, so I get my skilled bonus versus poison.
Fantastic. Yeah, it sucks. It hurts. But it's not going to do anything mechanical to you.
Okay.
You would like and it stung you at night. At first, you think like, oh, it is like some sort of like mouse-sized scorpion or something, and then you see it's kind of like got it's not metal, but it's like some sort of like chitinous or like some sort of like clearly fabricated parts to it. I think there's a moment where it's like you flash like, oh fuck, it's a Vohm, but it is not. It's just a little guy that kind of skitters around. It's got
it's holding like a little needle.
Yeah, it's got a little needle in its hand. It's got like one like big eye and one like tiny little eye that kind of like looks around. Big eye's kind of like a lens almost. But yeah, and once it kind of like makes this run around the jar or whatever for a little bit, kind of like settles down and sits down in the middle and just kind of like waits and stares at you.
So
Got it.
Adoron would come in from the pavilion because Adoron probably sleeps in the pavilion.
Mm-hmm.
The shelter, and because of the sound.
Yeah.
And I would like to make a protocol roll to see because that's politics. Somebody just played politics.
I think this is not this is maybe just like a loose pest. This is not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think this is someone sent this to you. This is just like.
So this was not an assassination attempt.
No, this is just like vermin.
Who deals in these kinds of things, or is it something that just happens to be running around in the
it's just something that runs around like it's a golem and not an animal. I mean, even a word animal. It is probably trainable.
Yes, I know.
That thought crossed my mind.
So if you would like to get yourself a little poison golem pet.
Yep. So Adoron will try to figure out the protocols for communicating with it.
Yeah. I think this is just gonna be a straight charisma roll. This isn't gonna be protocol. This is just like,
I don't have good charisma. I have good protocol.
yeah, they're just gonna be vibing with your little buddy.
Okay, so in that case, Phaedra, would you like to try since you have a little? Because if I don't have an advantage in the process,
So,
maybe
and it's gonna be an easy roll. I think it's just gonna be like a 7.
do you want a small assassin pet?
I mean, I've got a shrub. I've got a pet shrubbery that I still haven't used. I haven't figured out what to do with it yet, but I've actually I gave it 200 experience points last time. So
Oh, and that should be in your items as well. The shrubbery.
oh, okay.
I mean, if you don't want it, I'll try and train it.
Yeah, I think I don't even think you have to, because you have time to do it. You have a month. So unless you're in a hurry, I think given enough time and patience, you can train it to like come, go, like obey, like very simple, like you would train a mouse, kind of. And I think in the process of training it, and kind of like getting to know it, it has like a little appendage with a little needle thing, and the poison like receptacle is empty. So if that is something you would want to do at some point, you would have to refill it with your own poison.
Right. So I'm not hearing you want to take it, Phaedra. So Adoron will take it.
I don't.
Cool.
Yeah. So Adoron will take it, and Adoron will train it to it's a little risky, but train it to add syrup to teas when people want extra sweetening.
Amazing. Amazing.
Which reminds me that one thing that we should probably have done the previous month is found the guy who sent us off to get the goo and return that. That should probably have been our first order of business, honestly.
Yeah, well, you had a business to set up.
But that was the reason we went there and came back, and we were on a bit of a time crunch there.
Yeah.
So if we could
If we
retcon
want-
that and just
if you
care of
want to
that.
say you did that first, the priority. Yeah, that was Satrap 123 difference at the Fire Embassy. What's it called, the the final embassy. Yeah, I think you brought it in like just under the wire as well. And yeah, I think a lot of the satraps have kind of trundled off west as winter came. So there's just like there's only a few dozen or not,
Like
maybe a dozen satraps there.
Got it. So it's like a skeleton. It's like a skeleton crew here.
Yeah, and he's one of them because he was like, I'm gonna hang out here. I'm gonna take care of this. If they don't come, they don't come. But I think he is, he verbally expresses his delight in seeing you. And so you have the
we have the sample.
Yeah, tell me about it. What how does it behave? And you can give him the down low and like, oh, it reaches out to you and tell him all the stuff that happened when you got it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think we're going to keep any secrets from him. We'll just tell him exactly. We'll tell him what we know.
Yeah. Great. I will be spending the winter here with everyone else, so I'm not a scientist. I'll just keep this safe here and send it off to the Spectrum Palace come spring. But I mean, they did seem rather eager to get it. Well, it's not here nor there with regards to you. 6,000 was the price for a timely delivery, and you did deliver it in a timely fashion. So, this is this is the end of my budget for the year. So, enjoy it. Thank you for your service.
Absolutely, pleasure doing business. That was 6,000.
That was 6,000. Yeah.
Fantastic. I think on that, maybe we should pay ourselves another 1,000 for each for hazard pay. Does that sound good? That sound good to everyone?
I ain't gonna argue with you throwing money at me.
And
Everyone take everyone take another 1,000.
It seems like you have enough to set up another milk run if you wanted to try that as well. Would not be active till the spring, but like a milk run between, I don't know, you would decide, but just something to keep in mind. Speaking of, when you set up the bean run, you have a choice to make. When you set up a milk run, you can decide how risky you want it to be. Basically, every back and forth it does, there will be a roll to see how good it did, and depending on whether you made it, there's three levels of risk you can do, but basically like conservative, normal, or risky. And risky ones have a greater chance of disaster, but a lot bigger profits. The standard ones have a low chance of disaster, but give minimal profits.
I think I would go in the middle.
Middle, cool.
Yeah. Normal sounds reasonable.
Cool.
You don't need to get crazy risky with beans. Come on, man.
Yeah. And that's like a what is it? Between here, 1, 2. It's like almost a 2-month round trip. So you will have your first check-in in. They'll leave in first month 1, 2, 2. So like end of red month, you'll have your first batch in.
Nice.
Cool. What could go wrong? Cool. Yeah, and I think like you have, if there were faction ratings, you have good standing with the Satraps. And reasonable standing with everyone else as well, because you've you got yourself a little cafe or a little conversation salon there. You do good business, fair prices. Yeah, you're upstanding members of the community for the last month or so.
Nice. One other thing I want to do is I might need to talk to Pookie or perhaps some other representative from Violet City.
Mhm.
I still have a long outstanding debt to one of the cat lords in Violet City. I want to pay that off.
Fantastic. Yeah, if you mentioned that to Pookie, like, oh yeah, I know them. Yeah, I would pay that off. They when they get their claws into you, you're better off out here. So yeah, I can have someone send off a courier in the spring and take care of that as well.
Okay, so I will pay off that. I will just pay off that debt, and we'll hand wave that Pookie will take care of it for me.
Yeah.
Again, we'll draft it. Again, it's Cat Lord. And I know these things, so we'll like draft up contracts and like letters of credit and whatnot. That probably takes the better part of an afternoon.
Yep. Would you care for some catnip while we're here? Complimentary.
It's been a while. Been a while since I tried that. Yeah, I will partake.
Cool. Go ahead and give me an endurance roll.
Does this count as poison?
Oh, you know what? I think it does. Yeah.
Okay, well, I got a +3 on the roll then.
Cool.
Which is a 6.
And now you're an addict too.
Bunch of junkies in this caravan.
You and Modan can go to the clinic together. Cool. So what are your intentions for Dead Winter?
Let me put this. Let me add this as a burden.
Oh, Modan, your friend, your unnamed friend. Let me get a name for you. We already used that name. Goria Ricevelti. Chat for you. Goria Ricevelti. Orange Lander, I guess. Says it took a little bit of string pulling, but I managed to get you an appointment with Anise if you're still interested in taking advantage of their services.
Keith, you muted.
Yeah, I was trying to. Usually, when I press spacebar, it unmutes, but it wasn't going this time for some reason. Yeah, still interested. Want my appointment?
Fantastic. So they had that's cool. So Goria kind of figured, are you interested in going with or Adoron?
Probably not a bad idea. I will go with.
Cool.
Maybe we can get a 2-for-1 deal.
Yeah. They may also have something to help out Adoron's situation as well. If you're
Hey, want to come with us to the clinic, Adoron?
That sounds very intriguing. What do they have at this clinic?
Bajard and I are going to stop craving
Yeah,
catnip.
I've been indulging on something that I can't seem to stop and would prefer not to be doing anymore.
Your systems have failed in your purgative functions?
Something like that.
So they could have some solutions for, anything that ails you.
Yeah, they could have something to do with they could be able to fix your little, infection problem as well.
Indeed. I am looking for a particular treatment. Hopefully they might have it. I shall attend.
Party at the clinic.
That is interesting. Oh wow. Okay, cool. Wow, fascinating. So they lead you down. I think it's she leads you down and around and kind of there's like a long central kind of spiral staircase that goes down the green central column of the Serai and leads you here and there and farther down underground than you've gone before. And eventually kind of rolls back this rolling chitin door into a kind of like this half dome underground area with all sorts of bubbling tubes and all sorts of great stuff. And this is it says I think Fadrid, maybe you are the only one who can read this. It's like a particular, it's like not old Emerald City script, but it's in some sort of like antiquated script. It says the buried delicatessen. Goria says these are the folks I was telling you about. Basil, treat them as you would treat me, and let you on the way. They introduce you to Basil of Planet is their name. Clearly a Greenlander of hard to tell how old they are. They kind of have that sort of like very smooth, stretched skin, like how a rich person who's done a lot of treatments looks today, kind of.
That was Basil Planet.
Basil of Planet. And has kind of like a sourpuss on, and sort of says, I understand that you are interested in a treatment. How can we be of service?
I look at Modan and I say, well, speaking strictly for myself, I've developed a bit of a cat snip habit, and I've been having a very difficult time kicking it. I was hoping you might be able to help with that.
Of course, it's trivial. It will take an hour in the box. 200 cash upfront.
Fair, fair. I mean, that's only 4 cat snips. So
We can provide you with high quality catnip if you.
no, no,
No, no, no, no, no,
I
no,
do
no,
not
no,
want
no,
to.
no,
I
no,
don't
no.
ever want to do that
It's
again.
much better than you'll get above there.
I'll
Pharmaceutical grade.
I will pay the 200 for the treatment.
And you as well?
Absolutely, gladly. Here's 200.
And yeah, he leads you into the back. It's like kind of like separated half and half. And back is another person who introduces himself as Annis of Star, best human biomancer of the six colors. Um, and they give you a look over, kind of like look into your eye, like, you don't even have to tell me. Um, it's not a problem, no judgment. The mission is clear. We can take care of you here, and if your affliction comes back, we can take care of you again. It's not a difficult task to purge the toxins of the cat lords.
That it will not be coming back. I won't be touching any catnip ever.
Well,
Nor will I. It's it's fun while it lasts, and that hangover is not fun.
well, it's the simplest of things. Enter the car box, and in an hour you'll be right as rain. And basically, they look like the car box. Basically, looks like kind of like a tanning bed almost. Um, it's got this kind of like full spectrum, kind of like rotating color treatment on it.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can lie down in there, and an hour later you'll be all set.
Okay.
Adoron, while they're in the boxes, um, I think a niece, like after he gets them all set up and plugged in, um, and he's kind of like looks you over. What do you look like right now?
Adoron is probably just going to appear to be a sort of pale, translucent human at the moment. So not particularly identifiable as any particular origin, which is to say unusual, but unusual in a bland way.
Yeah. Um, you're welcome to stay here and watch over your friends if you don't trust us, or wait in the waiting room, or come back in an hour. Or I'm sure they could find you if you don't feel like waiting. But you're
Revered biomancer, I do indeed have my own issues.
oh, really? Feeling a little translucent, I suppose.
Oh, should that be different? Should I change that?
Oh no, it's just people are particular about their appearances sometimes.
No, I had an unfortunate encounter with biomechanical um, entities in the desert, and I was wondering if you uh, practiced the purifying fire treatment.
And as you're talking, she's like, "Oh yes, of course." Like goes over and does a little hand sanitizer. Like, "Oh yes, of course." The purifying fire. I mean, I can give you an equivalent treatment, certainly. Um, how long ago was this?
About a month,
About a month.
A month.
or was it two? Or was it two?
Hmm.
No, I think it's closer to
About a month. Yeah.
Can you give me
1.5, maybe.
an endurance roll real quick?
Sure. Endurance. Let's see. So that's an 8 because I have +1.
Natural 7. Great. Yeah, they give you a quick look over, and their expression gets very serious for a moment and says, "Are you? I don't mean to pry, but you're not. You are a person, of course, but you're not a biological human or ling or anything of the sort."
I am vat-born. My understanding is that I am primarily biomechanical.
Of course, of course.
If you would like to see my and Adoron opens up their chest,
Mm-hmm.
show the internal solid part,
Mm-hmm.
and pops open a little plate so that you can see inside the more computery area.
And their eyes go wide, and they say, "Well, uh, and what title do you prefer of address?"
I have been named as Adoron. That is the title I am familiar with. I
Oh,
do not remember beyond that.
of course, but Sir, Lord, is there any? Do people call you anything?
There are no extended protocols. I am myself a protocol expert. I think I was. I know this because it is part of my memory, but part of my memory is missing. So mostly I just assist people.
Of course, in the perfected flesh. Yes. Of course, your memory would be gone. Uh, uh, this is I've been waiting. This is a tremendous honor. The You're perfect just the way you are.
Actually, at the moment, I am imperfect. These spikes appeared when we entered the city. There was an electrical surge, and something seems wrong. And bones.
I wonder if that means it's time. Um, of course, and you wanted the
Purifying fire was
yes,
the recommendation.
of course. It will take some time. I have a more expedient treatment. It's slightly painful and slightly more expensive, but um, for you, no charge. If that's
I have
something that you're
learned from Phaedra that a lack of reciprocity is not an ideal state to achieve. I must do something in return for you.
oh, you've already done so much. What is your what will you be doing while you're here?
I am practicing conversation with people.
Conversation.
Conversation is very valuable.
Of course. I mean, you have been drawn here by Providence, so um, how can well let us purify your flesh first, and then we'll speak.
Thank you.
And if you insist on paying, if we would be honored to have you here the full week, and that'll be 300. Um, we can have you out of here today. Not that we want you to leave. Normally 900 for a treatment lasting 1 day, but having you here for the week would be uh,
I
fantastic.
would wish to spend the week here because you are very interesting.
Oh, you flatter me. I'm sorry. Um, um, you have no memory of where or when you came from.
I understand that I was in the employ of someone, but do not remember only some protocols and some familiarity with the current world, but I seem to have suffered some damage during an unfortunate boom incident in the Porcelain Citadel area.
Of course, of course. Well, right away, let us purify your flesh, and we can. You won't be trapped in a box like they are. It's an ongoing procedure, but we'll make you comfortable here, and it will be pleasant and painless. And do you require food?
I generally ingest biological materials to keep my component chemicals in supply.
Oh, fantastic. Well, let us know anything you need, and Basil and I will take care of everything for you.
My needs are very simple, primarily things like grass and other plants, plus the occasional bit of protein.
Oh, of course, of course. Um, while we purify your body, will you be bored?
What is board?
Do you require any entertainment or stimulation?
I would find it refreshing to have conversation with someone who understands more about the
Mission.
constituent properties of reality.
Of course. Um, I, it will be an enlightening time. Great. So you two come out of your boxes after an hour, and Anissa's got Adoron like seated in a comfortable dentist chair kind of with a lot of tubes coming in and out. Their chest is still opened up, and there's it looks like there's some diagnostic stuff happening on the core. I don't know if you've seen Adoron's core before, but it is exposed.
Definitely a first for me.
I think Phaedrid. I think Phaedrid is rather fascinated by this, and perhaps asks the medics, clinicians, whatever they call themselves. I'll ask them. I will ask them some questions about like what they know of, what they know of anatomy of individuals of Adoron's sort.
Oh, there are no others like him. It's been foretold that the perfected flesh will bring the crystalline seed. I never thought it would happen in my lifetime, however long that is. It's an immense honor. You must. Are you his attendants?
We're his friends and traveling companions.
Oh, of course. He wouldn't discriminate.
Tell us more about this crystalline seed. What is foretold about it?
The crystalline in the new mission, the crystalline seed that arrives in the perfected flesh. Of course, I'm sure you know. Drawn to the engine of creation. The seed that can.
I will attempt to play along, but I will attempt to play along as if I know what the hell they're talking about, but at the same time I'm trying to get them to like give me the information.
Yeah, and basically,
yes. Well, of course. Now,
yes, of course.
Now you know as well as I what the sacred texts say, which is
and over the course of sort of like assuming that you know things and kind of filling you in when it's like, oh, of course, like you said. So they are adherents of the of this cult called the New Mission. They await the coming of the crystalline seed from the perfected flesh. It takes a while to kind of get out, and I think they kind of disagree on the finer points of their theology, but it's something to do with they postulate, although they have not been able to verify, that Satraps' personalities are contained in like a kind of like a soul crystal within their bodies, and it's foretold that the crystal seed will come forth, that can create more. As it stands, the satraps are of a finite number. And when the crystal seed arrives, they will be able to continue on.
And why exactly is it that you believe that our friend here is the crystal seed?
Look at him. He's come in the perfected flesh. Wouldn't you agree?
I mean, it's a subjective statement, I suppose, so it's hard for me to say.
I've been a biomancer for, I don't know you personally, but very likely longer than you've been alive, for sure. And then,
yes, this was no aspersion on you. I meant that I personally would not feel comfortable saying that I'm an expert on what the perfect flesh would be.
I mean, it's said that the perfect flesh will arrive with no preconceptions and no history or memories of what they were before, bringing forth the crystal seed, fulfilling the new mission.
And the new mission would be?
Oh, well, of course, the first and last missions of the satraps wish to use the crystal seed for their own purposes. We have a new mission for it, a new purpose.
Doesn't our friend here, being of the perfected flesh, have some say or choice in this matter?
Of course. We only wait to hear his word.
Sidebar, speaking of the perfected flesh, is there anything you can do about these mutated gigantic lips?
Oh, did you want that taken care of?
Yeah, these are not natural. I didn't used to be like this.
Oh, I mean, I can reprogram the box. You know what? Since you're an attendant of the perfected flesh, we can take care of that at no charge.
Oh, that's very kind.
I know that being being the crystal seed, they insisted on paying us for our services, but don't tell him. Just accept the gift.
It's our little secret.
And at that, Phaedra just kind of like runs his finger on his like little goat horns. Is like, I've actually, and as if to say, I've actually come to kind of like these.
I mean, truthfully, if I had those, I'd probably keep them too. But the big lips, I'm not feeling them.
A little too much silicone.
Yeah, I'm not used to, it's hard to eat and drink and talk, but I'm not used to them.
Do you leave Adoron here through the week, or do you kind of like hang out or check in, or what?
We're gonna. So if he's gonna be here for a while, I think what I'd like to do is check in on him at least daily, perhaps maybe twice a day.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
to make sure that they're not gonna like grab him and run off with him.
I was gonna say, as long as he's fine with this whole procedure, and as long as he's fine with, I think that one of us should probably be with him at all times. So maybe we can tag team it.
It's probably not a bad idea.
Do something. I'll stay here with him.
That's probably not a bad idea if we take shifts.
Just because I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
Hopefully
know
it's
if we
all
want
above
to.
board, but I don't want them.
I don't
like,
want to. I don't know if leaving the Messiah with the cult is a good idea.
Yeah,
If leaving the person they think is the Messiah with a cult is a good idea.
Like, we're just gonna reprogram his consciousness real quick. It's like, wait, hold on there.
Yeah, they treat Adoron extraordinarily well. And when you come to stay with him, you're provided with refreshment and comfort as long as you're
Very nice.
attending him. And they
I would like to talk, and
Go
I would
ahead.
like to while Phaedrid is there, he would like to talk with the biomancers, and kind of like talk wizard to wizard,
Oh yeah,
basically
and
to find
it's
out.
just the one. It's just Anise.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so I would like to talk to Anise, kind of wizard to wizard, and find out if she had, and see if she'd be willing to, perhaps trade knowledge of magic,
It's,
i.e.,
it's less
i.e.,
magic than science, but I can show you some simple things, I suppose. What were you interested in learning?
So out of character, yeah, I was basically one of the things I wanted to do. One of the other things I wanted to do while we had like 4 months in the Last Serai was I wanted to try to maybe find someone who'd be able to teach me more spells.
Oh, she doesn't know any spells.
She doesn't know magic. Okay, got
There's
it.
no magic. Yeah, she's just a biomancer. She's just a flesh shaper. Um,
Got it. Okay.
So does that
I,
mean
I mean,
so I think
let me take a look at through some. If you ask her that, she will probably try to insist this is what people call magic. Of course, is up for debate. It could be this, that, science, reprogramming, the nature of reality. No, no, no. Let me see if there's any interesting spells that she might have that you might be able to pick up.
and she so she
Or
did
if
get
you
rid of
see anything like flesh related that looks interesting.
sure. Well, let me take a look.
she got rid of my big lips.
You got rid of your big lips. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Normal
Grasslands
again.
Guidebook.
Yeah. And she's not going anywhere. So you have time to.
Got it.
Adoron, yeah, they over the week of treatment, they fawn on you and ask you for wisdom, and they don't ask you directly what the new mission, what the intention is, but they do make themselves available if when it is time to execute on the new mission, what will we be doing with the seed crystal, basically.
At this moment, I am ignorant of many things and must discover what happened and what is to be next.
Of course, of course. I mean, we've waited so long. There's no sense in rushing. The mission is eternal, and of course, I spoke out of turn. This was. I'm here to attend to your needs, and the mission will be fulfilled as time permits, as it unfolds naturally. Yeah, and they hook you up for that week. Your vomitionness is completely cured, and they you can leave. They're not going to keep you or anything, but they are just moon-eyed over you right now.
Yeah. Did their treatment have any impact on the spikiness?
If you want to get rid of the spikiness, you can also do that. Yeah.
I mean, it currently is a burden. Is it possible to convert that into a trait that I can
Yes.
turn on and off?
So I think that the boniness is antithetical to your clay flesh. I
Yeah.
think if you want it to be shaped into armor or a weapon or something of that nature, that could be a trait that is transformed from your bones that way.
Right. What Adoron would like to do is have them convert that into a staff.
Nice. Do you want that attached to you or separate?
No, not attached, separate.
Cool. Bone spur staff it is then.
This is all very, very confusing and complicated. Adoron will convey to them that the knowledge that needs to be found is partly contained within each of us. And that Adoron is not the whole, just perhaps Adoron is one key.
Of course.
So they should look to their own knowledge and awareness as part of the understanding of what needs to happen moving forward until the plan is revealed. Which Adoron says, I am innocent of the new plan, so we shall seek the plan together.
Of course. That makes sense. We will look within.
How long have we been here now? Like,
this is your second month.
so we're into the second month now?
Yeah.
Like, but we still have weeks, right?
Yeah. And if you want to spend time doing stuff like market research or asking
For
around
discoveries and
or stuff like that, carousing.
carousing comes to mind. So I was looking through in Synthetic Dream Machine. It does talk about converting spells from other sources.
Mm-hmm.
And if these people are like the biomancers, one thing that we have a dearth of is healing. So I was wondering if I could basically learn them, like, the UVG equivalent of like the first level, like looking at I just pulled out my copy of Old School Essentials Classic Fantasy, and I'd want to like UVG it up, but I'd like to do something equivalent to like a first level healing spell, something like,
there is the Book of Halesthetics, words to cause pain or take it away, spending life to restore life.
What book is that out of?
That's in the Holy Fool book, page 127 in the one that I have, but
I don't think I have that one.
But yeah, if you would like to do that, you can spend some money and make a wizard roll, and we'll see what we can do for you.
Okay, I'd be willing to do that.
Cool.
So how much money? It looks, and so looking at the table.
800, I think it'll be
800. Okay.
And it'll be D20 plus thought plus wizard.
D20 plus thought plus wizard. Go back to my sheet here. Have too many windows open. D20 plus thought plus wizard. So I am an expert wizard. That's going to be plus 6. So it's going to be D20 plus 8.
Dang.
So rolled an 18 on the die.
As a 26.
Plus 8 is a 26.
That will get you a straight up new trait. So yeah, take Book of Halesthetics. And I think what that looks like is like it is a physical book. Let me paste it in chat here. Like it is, I think it's like basically they're giving you their old college books.
She's giving me a copy of her spell book, basically.
Yeah. let me this is the words to take away. So it is a physical book. You read from to restore life or remove.
So is that a trade or an item? It's a trade.
That you can put in either, since it is a book.
I'm gonna, since it is a physical object, I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna call it an item.
Cool.
I assume there's more than just. I assume there's more to it than just reading, but that's the thing that you need to get some skill to it. So
Yeah. There's focusing mental and spiritual energy and all that. There are some cryptic abbreviations under the stats column. I don't know that the book that I have has the correct things in it. I'll figure out what all that means, and we'll
got it.
I
was gonna say, yeah, I don't. Yeah, what? I'm sorry. Which? So this is another one from.
This is from Holy Fool.
Okay, I don't know Holy Fool.
It might be in the. I have the book that was dropped like yesterday, so it might be.
Oh, okay, got it. I haven't been. I haven't looked at the WTF site in a while. Or was it off of the Strato Metaship Patreon or?
Yes.
Or is it?
Yeah.
Got it.
Cool. I think that.
So while Adoron was spending a month or time period being treated, can Adoron also work on decoding the voices from the green? Or do I need to do that in a separate?
I think you would have to do that separately. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a long process.
Because I'm most of the way through on that one. So
yeah. And that one might require a trip to the tower to get that third point.
Okay, that makes sense.
Cool. We're just past the hour. Is there anything else you want to do this month? Feels like we've done a bunch of stuff. Oh, and another 500 cash in profit from your ventures.
I mean, I feel like
nice.
we should definitely use this time. Hold on, let me write that down. So I was thinking maybe I would start training just basic fighter, which would give me like, if I got that trained, that would be +3 like on all basically combat rolls.
Yeah.
I feel like we've encountered some dangers in our
does some
journeys. I
tussling.
feel like I need to get a little better with I've got this cool radiation gun I've borrowed, a rifle, but like I should learn how to use them more and be more accurate.
Yeah, that was something that I was also thinking of doing while we were here. I wasn't necessarily going fighter, but I was going to basically attempt to get like some kind of like weird magitechnical like gun and train on how to use it.
And you can train in fighter. That's no problem. You can also train in any of the skills under fighter. Like you don't have to take fighter first and then train in the other stuff.
Right.
So if there's something under there that will do something closer to what you want, all the traits are available to everyone.
Yeah. That just sounded like the best one because like just basically anytime using a rifle or using just general attacky defendy.
Yeah.
Get a little plus on that, so I'm not.
Who would you like to try to find to train you? Or where would you like to look?
Is there like I don't know, is there like a kind of basically like a town guard militia type? There
certainly is. I'm glad you asked. Yes. So this place is mostly run by the Porcelain Princes. And so they have the police force here, basically. Everyone knows it. Them. They are Black Helmet 60 Plurality. Is a 60 body porcelain prince. That is the police force of the Last Serai. it is rumored that many of the bodies, perhaps most, are no longer even human.
Mm.
But yeah. How would you like to go about that?
Obviously, I always like to use my charisma and friendly demeanor to be like, journeying, with caravans. Obviously, you encounter a lot of dangers, and do you hold any kind of training civilians in basic self-defense and attacks, just to be able to defend ourselves in the event of Volm attacks and raiders on our caravans and such. I'd like to
Interesting.
just like to be able to defend myself better.
Um, Let me get a charisma roll from you.
Sure. Uh, Jesus, 12. Would my pleasant come into play here?
Yes, I believe it would.
So that'd be an extra 3 on top of my, so it's +6 total.
Plus
Charisma.
2, +3. So you get +2 to reaction roll.
Oh,
That's
from
reaction
pleasant.
rolls. Yeah, it's not a reaction roll. So I think pleasant,
Oh.
pleasant's gonna give you a +3. Yeah. So yeah, +6 altogether.
Wait, I thought you were right. Why is it +3 instead of +2?
Because the +2 is to reaction rolls. Yeah, although it's unclear. Oh, you know what?
I would think it wouldn't. I mean, it would
I think
either
it's
be
just gonna be
+2.
+2. We'll give you the +2, so it'll be +5 altogether.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes more sense. God damn it, 7. Used up all my luck with that 20 in the first roll. Wait, hold on. You know what? I do have hero dice.
A 7 is actually.
Oh.
I think a 7 is actually going to do it.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, that's a 7 with pluses. No, that will not do it.
Okay,
Never mind.
I'm gonna spend a hero die.
Yeah, let's see a hero die.
And I tend to never use my hero dice. So
yeah, smoke if you got them.
And that just throws another D6 on there. Is that
That's
right?
Correct.
So that was a 7. Yeah, 7 plus 4.
7 plus 4 is 11. I think that will just do it. And I think basically it takes, they're not Buckingham Palace guards or anything, but they do have like these jet black face masks instead of the regular white porcelain masks that most princes have. A lot of them are unresponsive and just kind of like move along, citizen. And I think as you they're spread out through the Serai, which I think makes the mind link a little tenuous sometimes, because normally the princes kind of clump together. But if they're spread out through the city, I think as you get away from the harmonium, the bond is a little bit weaker, and it almost feels like some of them have started to develop sparks of their own personality a little bit, which is extraordinarily dangerous. And if anyone found out, they would be, if you had a hangnail, you would cut it off and let it grow back. But I think because of that, they're kind of guarded about it. But since you're a friendly guy, you can tell that they're like maybe not all 100% together. But I think what you get out of them is that Black Helmet 60 is kind of neurally bounded to another prince, Lacquer Stone Forebody, and they're kind of the chief of police security head, I guess. And they're at the harmonium. If you wanted training, they say like there would be no one better to get it from them. Like most of the porcelain princes are rather conservative in their ways, and Lacquer Stone is even more so, I think. But if you were to perform some services for them, they are fastidious in repaying services done for them. Would you like to travel to the Harmonium and approach them?
I think so. I mean, we got the time, right?
Yeah.
So,
Let me actually. I don't know if I pasted a picture of the Harmonium before. It's
as well make use of our time holding up here at the Serai.
yeah.
Come out better, improved.
Yeah. So this is the heavily defended temple, old, very very old, probably predating anyone who is here now. Um, and you can feel kind of a like there's definitely a energy about the building itself. And I think it's not a secret that there's something within the Harmonium actually powers the rest of the Serai, like powers the static field, powers anything that needs power within the Serai. And it's kind of like where the center of it is. I'm gonna need another. Sorry, I'm gonna need another charisma roll for for Lackerstone.
Same as last time.
Yeah,
Uh,
a little bit tougher on him, but
there we go. 16.
16 will do it though. Yeah, so Lackerstone is a four body. They, I think it takes a little while to get an appointment with them, and they do kind of a walk and talk thing. Like a couple of them are writing notes. One of them is kind of dictating to an attendant, while one of them has a conversation with you in a solitary voice. They seem quite old, and very sort of tightly bound. They don't really get more than 6 to 10 feet away from each other. And they're like, yes, we, there are you interested in joining the police force?
Unfortunately, I already have a life, and the reason I seek out your expert skills is to be able to better defend my caravan. We are only here by a stroke of luck after being ambushed by a mini Vom.
Of course.
And that just made me realize how I need to up some of my own, offense and defensive capabilities to be able to deliver goods to and from wonderful places like this.
Of course, the rumors and the news. Of course, we get regular news from the Citadel, so it's. I believe that the Bohm situation will soon be in hand, be taken in hand. It's going to be handled. So you're looking for training then?
Yes, again, just some basic pointers so that I'm better able to defend myself and my caravan. I've been a traveler and a farmer, so I know how to use a rifle and things, but I'm not great at it.
Of course. Well, as you've you've come to me, so I imagine you've seen the state of our security. Try as I may to. I'm sorry.
I would think being put in charge of the security of such a wonderful place that you must know very well your job of how to keep the place safe.
I know my job, of course.
Yes, that's
Black Helmet. Well, physical security is, of course, of utmost importance. But as I mentioned, intelligence is also a key element of security. You'll be staying with us for the winter, and then for how long?
How long were you here for? Like a couple weeks? Or
it'll be another 2 months after this.
Oh, another 2 months. So
yeah.
Yes, we're here for another couple of months.
Of course, that should be plenty of time. I would, I assume, since you are an independent traveler, you're not interested in joining Black Helmet. I wonder if I could engage your services then as an intelligence agent to just keep an eye on the coherence of the bodies. If anything,
Covertly, I take it.
of course, of course. If I can be blunt with you, although
Of course, of course.
uh, although princes share many similarities, of course, we as a society are not of a single mind, as I'm sure you have learned in your travels. There are some princes have different ideas about how things should be run around here, and I have been here since before the Rainbow Lands reclaimed the Circle C. I don't wish the Serai to fall. I feel like I've done everything I can do here, but with your help and people like you, I think perhaps there might be one last chance to keep our forces in cohesion. So if you can be my eyes and ears throughout the Serai. I rarely leave the Harmonium. There's just so much to be done here. If I could rely on you for regular reports, I could surely make an appointment. Make an appointment for you for firearm training you were looking for, or
yeah, just any general offense, defense tips to just up my game and be a better able to travel the roads with a little more safety and a little more clear-headed.
Of course. Right. Can I get you to make a? I think this is gonna be a thought roll.
Thought roll.
I just need an 11.
What's it? 2 plus 2. Thought roll plus 2. Hey, how about a 17?
Great. Let's get you 1 out of 3 for fighter then.
Yeah.
And yeah, Lackerstone assigns a couple black helmets to show you the ropes, tussle with you a little bit, take you out shooting, and be like you're starting to get the hang of it.
Oh, something I just realized when you had me add electro detection as a trait, should that be skilled or is it?
That should be skilled.
Okay,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I didn't put anything next to it. I just realized. Okay, cool. And then that's something theoretically like that I can roll on that every week. Is that right?
Yeah. We're kind of gonna go like by months for the winter, I think, since we're not gonna dive into every single week. So progress will be slower, but won't be spending as much time in administration.
So, I mean, theoretically, before we leave, I could, if unless rolls go wrong, I could have that finished or whatever.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else? The other two probably have a little bit of time to do stuff in Dead Winter. Anyone else you want to talk to or check out, or
I'd like to just do some more kind of like exploring around the Serai to basically see if I can find any discoveries.
Yeah.
Within the Serai.
Cool. Discovery. Sweet. Yeah.
So I imagine these would be like within the city rather than like around, but that's mainly what I'm kind of looking for. I don't want to go out in Dead Winter, but I'm looking around to see like what weird stuff is in this weird city.
For sure. Yeah. Go ahead and make a discovery roll.
That's just a straight D20.
It's a straight D20.
Got a 9.
9. Interesting. Let me see. You get some rumors. I think this is maybe not carousing, but late night drinking rumors, kind of. Maybe at the Generous Cow or whatever it is. That some of the different people say different things. Some say it's princes, some say it's some Rainbow Land mad scientists. They've got some sort of goo, some sort of ooze, some sort of stuff kind of crammed into a vat, and it's alive. And it's not only alive, but like if you get close enough, if you can find it, it'll talk to you. I don't know. people like again, a lot of voices in the air here now and then, right? But
Does this sound like a twisted version of the rumors of the ooze we found?
no, it sounds like something completely different.
Okay.
And they describe it physically like kind of like green jello, basically, clear and green.
Is there any indication as to like where this might be?
Underground somewhere. You would have to do more investigation to find out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lead. That sounds I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
So, like, how would one follow up on this, like mechanically?
Probably spend more time searching around. Probably next month we can do another
Okay,
discovery about that.
another discovery roll. Okay, got it.
Yeah, and cool. Adoron, any last dead winter, and last dead winter stuff now that you're Messiah.
Right. That's yeah. So Adoron's going to um work on establishing the pavilion as a place to have tea, get some cakes or cookies, and good conversation,
Mhm.
and just see what kind of um, traffic. I would also like to pay somebody who is musical to at least for the first week,
Oh yeah,
like stand near the pavilion and attract attention.
sure. Um, I think that's no bad. That'd be like 20 cash maybe.
Okay.
Be trivial. There's plenty of unemployed musicians hanging out for the winter.
Right. And then I mean, I've got several things in process. Um, Adoran will if they are interested, Adoran will spend time with is it Anise
Mm-hmm. Anise and Basil.
and Basil and um in basically at some point Adoran will indicate that they have doubts that they are the pure seed, but since they don't know, they can't say for sure.
Hmm.
Um,
I mean, if you are unsure, we could perform some explorations on your core, try and unlock some of your potential or memories. It's not flesh, so it is somewhat out of my wheelhouse. I could attempt something, or I could see if I could contact someone else who has a better facility with that kind of thing.
I am concerned about risk. I have conceived of the notion that I must understand more of what happened in the past. And in pursuit of this, I have been exploring unintentionally the nature of Vohm, but also various sources of direct contact with elements of the past, such as the green um, monolith. And so, while I am open to your exploring what is it within my stable self, I do not wish to be at great risk, for I feel perhaps there are things that I could contribute to the world that now is.
Are are you talking about the ignored tower?
Yes.
We ignore it for a reason.
It is uncomfortable and unpleasant. I do understand that. Could you tell me more about what consequences exist that are deleterious?
Death, uh, complete obliteration of the soul.
Do you use that term in the explicit or casual sense?
Explicit.
Oh, I recently had my soul damaged. It is a painful process.
I imagine that the process of having your soul torn apart by the whatever it is would not only be more painful, but subjectively protracted.
Very well. I shall consider that. I understand the sense of isolation as one who is not from this context. And so, if there is a way that I can help with your own situation, I would like to help. If you wish to explore my solid self, I am willing.
When you say my situation, what do you mean?
They're satraps, right?
No, they are humans. They're Rainbow
Oh,
Land.
they're humans.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh,
But the
yeah. They are
satraps.
working at cross purposes with the satraps.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let me um
Yeah, that they are. Basil is clearly a Greenlander.
right.
Annis is human, but unclear where they are from.
Interesting. But they're interested in the satraps.
Yeah. But whereas the satraps probably want to use it to continue creating new satraps or create new
Right.
satraps at all. These people, the what's it called, the new mission has some other
Oh,
intention for
okay,
it.
okay. Now I understand. Okay. Um, okay. Then um if you would like to do some preliminary diagnostics on my um solid body, I am open to that.
All right. Um, I'll need to do some consultation and acquire some specialized equipment, but I would be honored if I can. And I don't mean to presume, but from personal experience, perhaps looking to the past is not where you'll find the answers.
I shall consider that. I have learned many new things. It is surprising what you can learn when you don't know anything.
Indeed. I think we can call it there. That was pretty good. Um, Everyone take 200 XP just for hanging out here for 2 months. Cool. And we will resume in the new year in New First. Cool. You got a place to stay. I thought, okay, you're making money. Great. Everything's coming up. Your house. Awesome. Let's go ahead and do some stars and wishes then. And we'll just go left to right. Start with Mike.
There we go. Sorry. Wasn't able to unmute there. Okay, cool. Yeah, stars all around. This is a fun, like, we're hunkering down in a weird city, and so we're not moving around. So this felt like qualitatively different than a lot of the other games that we've sessions we've played of this. And I thought it was really interesting. I want a big star to Teal for like Adoron's kind of like, innocence and learning, and your reaction to dealing with the biomancers. I thought that was just a really, really cool scene. And earlier than that, I really liked the scene of him and Phaedrid setting up our new little, our like semi-permanent outpost for our finance venture here in town. And I thought that was really cool. And Heath, I loved that scene of you going to, like, again, that scene at the end of you like going to the local constabulary and like basically like, hey, can I basically joining them at the firing range to like, learn how to better like, improve your target practice. I thought that was really, well, I mean, you got that radiation gun. I'm guessing you're probably not training on that because you're probably not showing that to people.
Keep that hidden.
But yeah, I just thought that was a really cool scene. And Mark, as usual, for like keeping everything like simultaneously very weird, but also weirdly grounded in the weird world. Things seem. I think you're doing just a great job of keeping everything. Like keeping the vision of this like really, really strange place, and nothing has seemed. Everything's been weird, but nothing has seemed like out there or off tone. I think you're just doing a really good job of like keeping the oeuvre of the world. I'm just having a ball with this.
Awesome. Any wishes for next time?
I think my wish here would be to like, maybe let's try to wrap up our time and like wrap up the next couple of months and get back on the road.
Cool.
That's kind of what I'd like to do.
Awesome. Next, Heath.
Yeah, I'd piggyback on everything he just said. As usual, stars for everybody. It's a fun little posse, including Mark as the keeper, and the game. Yeah, it is just such a fun, very different kind of tone of game than anything else I've played, and especially more so, like he said, this phase of it where it's not like, okay, we do this thing and then we go over here and we do this thing, we go over here. It's like, no, we're just hunkering down for like a couple months. Just kind of fun because it gives us a chance to do things like work on skills or, do discoveries and all that. And it's got that feel of hunkering down, like, don't go outside, it's nasty out there.
Yeah.
Just fun. My wish is just always kind of getting to know the systems better, feeling things like ways to use my traits. At some point I became an expert traveler. I don't think I've ever used that skill yet in any of the games I've played. It's like I need to find a way to use my traveler skill for something. But and getting new skills all the time, figuring out how to use this friends thing. I should have 3 friends now. I guess I got my horse as one, and so I guess is that gonna be like 2 other people that'll be traveling with us as part of my posse now?
Yeah, I mean, if you can, find some folks to come along.
So that'll be interesting. See what that, and then see, kind of excited that we got my bean empire established, and see how that pans out. And then I was worried. It seems cool, but I was definitely on edge about like, what are they going to do to Adoron? Is this a thing we need to worry about? They seem cool though. They seem just fawning all over him. Whatever he wants, it's cool. So I don't think they're going to like. And now we take his core out and sacrifice it to the gods or whatever.
Out of game, they are like 100% in awe of him, and Do not wish
Yeah,
him any
which
harm.
I actually, as we kind of discovered that, it was another thing I enjoyed because, like, at first it definitely seemed like, oh, is this going to be a danger or a thing we're gonna have to overcome, or and then when it kind of wasn't, that was like a nice surprise. I'm like, no, it really just seems like they're just like,
Yeah, whether he is the crystal seed or not, that's up
yeah.
for debate. But
So
they're
I love
They are
twists like
convinced
that.
he is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love game twists, story twists like that. Like just like when you expect, like, oh, okay, here's a boss we're gonna have to fight or whatever, and then that's not that,
Yeah.
or things
We're
like
just going to the healer. Oh no, here's a whole other thing.
that. Yeah,
Like they're like will likely lead into some politics stuff with the satraps. Like
yeah. But yeah. I mean, even this many games in, weird. I still feel like I'm getting my legs and learning it. But it's fun. It's fun. I'm enjoying it for sure. I think that's me.
cool. Deal.
Well, first of all, Heath, I really liked your interactions with Pookie. That was great. Um, the like thinking about regular games compared to what we're experiencing here, where it's not usually some binary, are they good for us, bad for us sort of thing. It's much more, oh, well, you know, if I interact with Pookie, this takes me in this direction of my character's journey. And if I, and I, the fact that you're becoming a spy is also like very, very cool. And I just like your ability to just be friendly with people and get things done is that's cool. Just watching that happen. Um, and Phaedra, I totally agree about setting up the business. That was a lot of fun. I really liked that. And I'm still trying to figure out what to do with those bones because I know those bones are important. Um, and then Mark, uh, I wasn't expecting that.
Me neither. That was just because of the role.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm just like, uh, wait, because Adoron knows that they were created to serve, but that's all that Adoron remembers. So
Mhm.
Adoron doesn't really know, and it's sort of like, uh, I mean, I'm just here to be helpful, I think. So that's going to be very interesting. I still want to go to that green tower. Um,
You definitely do that.
I know I'm trying to figure out how to do it and not just die. Um, that will probably take some real research. Um, I would say as far as wishes go, like the game is amazing. And uh, when we're away from game, very frequently I'm thinking about, oh, okay, Adoran wants to accomplish this, and just thinking about the world is
Mhm.
so intriguing because there are on the one hand it's straightforward, like Phaedra is able to make deals and make money. But on the other hand, it's so non-straightforward, and that really gets my imagination going. What I'm noticing is that we are starting to build up our awareness of the world around us. And obviously, Heath and Mike, you've been here longer, so you have already more awareness than I do. But um, and I feel like we're starting to slowly weave connections to the world in more direct ways. Being a spy or a a whatever it is I am or whatever
Being
potentially.
magnet.
And so but that's interesting to me because one of the things that I've noticed about gaming is a lot of times gaming gets um, we'll call it juicier when connections start to be formed with the context. And so your actions aren't just, oh, I need to get some gold, but they're more, oh, well, I know I have a relationship with Pookie the cat, and, but also we have to watch out about, are the satraps unhappy with us? And, I think that's really intriguing. And I like the idea that we now have a base that we can come back to.
Yeah,
It,
yeah,
it sort of ties us down, but in some ways it also gives us a chance to get into more intricate relationships and stuff.
yeah. I think if you want to keep this as a base, we could figure out a way to like hire someone to run it for you as while you go traveling and whatnot.
Is it possible for us to um is it possible for us to hire um Magazine and Apate to run the base for us?
Oh, maybe, yeah, yeah.
Especially Magazine seems like a good choice potentially to like set Magazine up with a workshop and they can
Mhm.
stay here and do stuff.
Yeah,
And I don't know if Apate would want to stay in some place like this, but because if they ever get a chance to play again,
Mhm.
that would be cool.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
like
Right now they're just like literally chilling at the Citadel, so
right.
definitely make that happen.
Okay.
I like that idea, by the way.
Yeah.
That raises a question when you're talking connections and stuff. Something I hadn't thought. So there's been a couple of times when, like, we got a really good price on something, but then we needed to get the fuck out of town.
Yeah.
Is that like a temporary status, or is it like we don't want to go back to that town, or they're gonna be like, "You motherfuckers"? Or is that something that kind of dies down?
Temporary status. I think it's it lasts as long as it's interesting.
Less as long as the person that we ripped off is still there.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily like we can't go back there. Or
Yeah, no.
Well, like as a porcelain citadel, it wasn't a simple thing of we pissed somebody off. It was a more complicated thing of we attracted too much attention.
Mhm. Yeah. Cool. Anything else? Sweet. Yeah, I had a great time. I had no idea how winter was going to work, and I'm really enjoying the kind of like diving into a location instead of just kind of like popping around. So it's really interesting. Um, I need to do a little bit more research on what a couple things are, since we're starting to like get fingers into politics kind of stuff. So that's an interesting tone shift for a couple months. Put that down as a wish. Yeah, and I like this. It's interesting because it's the rhythm of the year is kind of like go out adventuring and trading and stuff, and then kind of this does give you a chance to kind of like work on skills and build up a little reserves or run out of reserves or depending on and kind of like taking a rest and learning more about yourself and finding out who you want to become as well. Um, one of the interesting things about like leveling up and gaining new skills is that like at some point your skills start becoming burdens because you only have so many slots. Um, so it's interesting, like the decisions of what, and you can always drop stuff, right? So if you decide, oh, I no longer want to be friendly or whatever, like you can drop that and replace it with something else.
It's like I just noticed that I've got two redundant skills. I've got the I've got the improved intestinal biota and which is redundant with my resilient. They basically do the same thing. Well, the former is a limited version of the latter.
Yeah.
So I could probably just drop that.
Yeah, but I'm enjoying seeing the characters blossom and make new friends and discover more about the Serai, and kind of like dig deeper into some of the stuff. It will probably we'll probably finish up the winter next session, and get back on the road, whichever direction that is. We've only explored like half a dozen out of like 30 or so locations, so you're like there's still so much to squeeze out of just what we have explored already, and there's so much more out there. So this
book is dense.
Yeah, it is super dense. And probably like our golden age is probably going to come out soon, which is going to have like all the Rainbow Land stuff too. So it's going to be twice as much stuff in the other direction. But yeah, just wishes just like continue exploring both breadth and depth, and having a good time. Cool. Anything before I shut down the recording? All right. Thank you, Internet, for watching if you're watching.